It is on this day, and it is a rare day indeed. What is up, fellas? Today, I am proud to be a North American Counter-Strike fan, thanks to Stewie2k, and an amazing weekend, in case you guys missed it, at IEM Dallas. If you are a North American fan, or even just a fan of Counter-Strike, we saw an amazing weekend with an amazing event, and just one American who changed it all. As we had a lot of great storylines heading into this event, one of them being G2 announcing G-Stu, that being Stewie2k for the first time in over 2 years, or about 2 years, where he'd come back to a starting roster at a big LAN event. Most recently, he was a trial/stand-in member for Legacy, but this being an actual debut at a major LAN here in North America, so it was kind of his first return after a couple of years, and people really did not know what to expect. But a lot of people not surprised what they found out about other North American teams who have been struggling. Unfortunately, so something not all too unfamiliar for CS fans. We were also doing interviews at the event. Nothing also happened to be there, a fellow former NACS pro. We talked a lot about NACS and the future of that, maybe for a different video, but also got the chance to ask him what it was like seeing Stewie back on stage competing again. Beyond that though, you mentioned Stu. What's it like seeing Stu back on stage in an event like this?
Well, it's fun. It's cool because one, like Stu and as a standalone person, it's just fun to watch because he's always hype and energized, and he's got a lot of there's always a lot of talk around his name and how he succeeded and his failures and everything in between. People are very critical of him, and I think from the critical perspective, it's cool to see him be in the quarterfinals right now, I think. Yep. And even if his stat lines aren't insane, showing he has big rounds and does well, that's cool to see because people love to count gamers out the second they're older than 15. They're well, they got to retire. So it's cool to see him showing up.
As the two NA teams at IEM Dallas bowed out very early, both in last place, unfortunate exits for both M80 and Complexity, and by the time playoffs came around for IEM Dallas, there was only one American left standing in the entire tournament, and that was young Stu. Again, keep in mind with G2 playing with a stand-in, this was an underdog roster throughout the entire tournament. I don't think many people expected much out of G2 throughout it, and boy did they prove us wrong. And early on, it was actually Stu on stream saying if they won the event, he would be going bald, which we will come back to, okay?
If we win this tournament, I'm going bald.
Clip it. Someone has to clip it.
Imagine I actually went bald, bro.
And as we enter playoffs, they had arguably, one of their bigger challenges throughout the entire tournament that most did not think they would make it through. The odds of G2 taking down one of the world's best in FaZe Clan in the quarterfinals, it was completely against them. But the arena was with them all because of the lone Stewie2k and that North American crowd. It almost felt like the one last thing we had to hold on to. And then the impossible happened. G2 stun FaZe Clan.
Play Nexa charging towards him. They just run right through and they run all the way. G2, 2 kills away.
They're so prepared for everything. They're so prepared for every push, every reaction. G2 with the stand-in has hit a flow state that FaZe can't handle, and that's it. G2 in the semifinals of IEM Dallas.
What an incredible showing from this G2 side.
And the beauty of these kind of videos is we not only have the broadcast, but we were also there so you can see the reaction in the arena. Keep in mind, on a Friday night of tournament weekend, Saturday, Sunday, only going to get better from here. I couldn't be alone in saying that enough was a big enough of a surprise to make this event worth it. As an NA fan, to have Stewie come back to a LAN for the first time in a couple of years and make playoffs and take down one of the world's best, that was enough for me. And then they took on 9Z, another underdog story for this tournament. And so people were like, this series is a coin flip. And we also saw some sick stuff from this opposing team too. If you guys don't know, 9Z, an Argentinian based organization, but players all around South America. So they came out repping their flags, which was awesome. And we had Stewie against FaZe, and the whole time really amping up the crowd to be behind G2 as well, which the crowd certainly was.
Other options.
Kerrigan will be very familiar with this chant.
And although it was a relatively close series, G2 then take down 9Z. And all of a sudden, this Miracle Run story is in full fruition as they make the grand finals and are set to face off against Vitality.
For next up, turned on, Russell Peak provides. Time sensitive, I don't see a kit, Chad. I do not see a kit, a 10-second defuse. I'm just good for it. But meditate all you want, you're going home. G2 are off to the grand finals of the Intel Extreme Masters. Stewie2k. A contribution to make it so.
And I wasn't kidding when they were the major underdogs throughout a majority of their matchups, and for good reason. And the reason we were also at this event and also placing a few bets myself, and I did okay for once. Thanks to Thunderpick, guys, for esports betting. Please, 21 plus only, and bet responsibly. And if you would have bet on G2, you would have come away with a good chunk of change this event. Although I don't know if that was the smart bet to make. It was one that some people did. As we head into this G2 versus Vitality finals, I would say the majority of the crowd there was a small section of French fans. You got to admire them. We were in Paris last year for the last CSGO major. They were incredible, but we're here at NA, and when it comes to G2 fans and NA fans, they showed out. If you guys did not catch any clips, it was constant throughout the arena to hear the stew in the background, where if you listen closely, anytime he got kills, that is what followed.
Stewie searching for this attack in. Vitality trying to remain composed. Flames gets that first entry. Stewie gets one for the back of the bomb site, but he's still standing. He just needs to delay. He's got Hunter up on top. Stewie still alive. ZywOo hunting him down. And this would be one way for ZywOo to wake up in this final, but he can't stop Stewie. 10 rounds for G2. And do Vitality have anything left in them?
And then we also had the FU Apex clips, which I will say somehow sparked a huge debate of trash talk in esports, but it was amazing. If you were actually there at the venue, the FU Apex chants were like every 10 minutes. But if there's one player who can handle those chants and make it more entertaining and also make you scared that the more they chanted it, the better he played, was Apex.
Throughout the original halves, it's just leaving them. It's depleted. Starting to look panicked and make mistakes.
And the crowd have adapted a new favorite chant.
They know their powers.
And right now, it's working.
I kid you guys not, this was one of my favorite CS series easily of the entire year, if not in recent memory as well. We had a double overtime, we had an overtime, and eventually a map 3 that was still quite close by the end of it, guys. And somehow, some way, G2 with a stand-in player in Stewie2k, his first time back in nearly 2 years, stun another one of the best teams in the world, that being Vitality. And that place erupted. Here is where I want to give a quick shout out to you guys. I know we've been trying our best to stay present on YouTube. We have been also trying our best to reinvest with our partners into actual proper equipment to capture these events. We got new cameras for this event, which allowed us to capture some incredible footage of the post-win reaction, them lifting up Stewie, the trophy lift, and it all. And so I want you guys to check this out. I mean, I've just been so lucky this year alone. If you guys didn't catch it, we were in Brazil for one of the best Rainbow Six Siege events. I would say the best event of all time. We had Smite World Championships down in Texas. Now back to Texas for an American player to win on NA soil, supposedly for the first time since 2019. And I tracked other big names like Twist. There's obviously been online events and several other events. But regardless, it's been a long time for an American player to win a major LAN on NA soil and to do it with G2, with the help of G2, by the way. Let's not take that away. m0NESY is insane. A well-deserved MVP, and the entire G2 roster and Vitality making this a great series to watch. Like, just so entertaining. All the back and forth, can't take away from either team. And afterwards, those storms, they hit Dallas, Texas, causing many of flights to be delayed or canceled, Stewie2k being one of them, where afterwards he then took to stream, and he was actually in the Legacy guy's house. That is the team he was also, a part of as well before standing in for G2. So he's in their house, they're busy practicing, and so he is just typing out these messages to his chat, trying not to disturb Legacy's practice, but he's live on stream saying, I love you guys. Like, I just lived some sort of fictional story. I don't know. It was really cool to see how purely excited he was to win again. Then, of course, taking to Twitter, and we all saw the post, guys, just showing the excitement, showing the love to all the fans out there, showing the love to G2 for taking him in, and what a beautiful run it was. As an NA fan, I talked to a lot of people about NACS this weekend, including Jason Lake, including Nothing, including a lot of fans, and maybe some of you guys too. It certainly needs a resurgence, and we do have videos coming on that soon for a wider conversation, but this has to help. All right, we're not completely out of it yet, but G2 winning IEM Dallas with Stewie2k as a stand-in on NA soil, one American sending everyone back home. It was great to see. So is Stewie2k back? That is the question, and what will he do next? Till next time, we hope you guys all enjoy, and hey, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.